US always gets a bad name because of its H1 green card related policies, and especially now that Trump is in office, many people are wary of whether US is the right study abroad destination or not. Canada is having its own problems like political turmoil, again I would say bad job market as well. But there's one country that's getting a lot of traction, a lot of influencers keep talking about it. So I get a lot of comments about, hey ma'am, is Ireland worth studying abroad? What is your opinion? So again, I thought about it because disclaimer, I do not have any direct client going to Ireland. But what I tried to do was that I tried to assimilate all the information, not just the good points that influencers are highlighting, but also going through a lot of feedback posted by students who have studied in Ireland. And based on all that and doing my own research, I want to cover in today's video that what is the reality for Ireland. Is it as glamorous or a perfect country as social media wants to make it out to be? Or are there some unknown harsh realities that you should be aware of? So this is my opinion about Ireland based on the information I've gathered so far. I hope this will help you in making a more well-informed decision about your study abroad destination. So let's get into it on the other side of this intro. Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. I hope you're liking the content. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are. I want to look at more options apart from US if you want to consider other countries for studying abroad. And I thought Ireland is getting a lot of attention, so let's talk about it. So let's jump into today's video where I will be evaluating Ireland on different facets and then conclude with whether it's a good choice for you in 2025 or not. So before we proceed, I want to just mention that we have already done a video on the detailed cost calculation for studying in the US and other top study abroad destinations in previous videos. I'll leave the link in the description box. Do check them out if you're looking into various options for study abroad in 2025. Coming back to Ireland, which is the topic for today, in 2020, Ireland saw a 22% increase in the international student applications, and majority of the students are coming from countries like India, China, and the US. And since then, international population has only been steadily increasing in Ireland. Many influencers are promoting, people are touting it to be the next big destination. In fact, I would compare the excitement for it to be similar to what it was for Canada maybe a decade ago. So like how popular Canada became among Indian students, do I think that Ireland will become a similar destination? That's what I'm trying to analyze in this video. And I want to analyze Ireland based on 5 factors. First is economic growth and job market. Number 2 is tuition fee. Number 3 is living costs. 4th is university reputation. And 5th is study work permits and PR. So let's get started with number 1, economic growth and job market. Before we evaluate whether Ireland is worth it or not, it's important to understand why it has become so popular in the first place. And the main reason for that is that the Irish corporate tax rate is one of the lowest in Europe. It's only around 12.5%. So this has attracted huge MNCs, all the big tech firms like Google, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft to set up their European headquarters in Dublin. Obviously, these companies bring a lot of business, but also because of the tax loopholes, they show a lot of income via Ireland and they pay taxes in the Ireland. So these companies have contributed to the economic boom and high GDP of Ireland. Now, this is where things get a little mixed. A lot of GDP is basically coming from the tax loopholes. This artificially inflates the country's GDP because wherever they are making that income, they will ultimately show that they are making it from Ireland, even if that's not true. So there is a impression of artificially inflated GDP, which gives the impression of greater economic prosperity than the reality. Of course, all this economic growth makes Ireland's job market more attractive because these companies being there, they're ultimately going to hire some people, right? But let's understand that more deeply. Despite the presence of these big tech giants, I would say finding a job right after finishing your master's is not as straightforward. What I have concluded after reading many posts and feedbacks from current students and recently graduated people is that Ireland is great for people with at least 3 years of work experience and people who are going into IT, engineering or data science field. That's all. If you're going for non-tech or even in some exotic tech or something, plus if you're a fresher, then Ireland is not a good place, because all these big MNCs, if you look at all the job openings, they're mostly for people with 3, 4 or even 5+ years of work experience. So it's not a fresher friendly place. Plus understand that anybody in Europe can actually work in Ireland because it is part of the European Union. So you are competing with all those people. So unless you have relevant work experience, finding a job in Ireland is not that easy. Just because you have done a master's degree there doesn't mean you will find a job that easily. And for other like non-tech fields, situations can be harsh, because one post I came across mentioned a student who has been doing part-time gigs for 2 years despite having a construction management degree. Now the official figures state that 80% of international students secure employment within 6 months of graduation, but we are seeing that a large chunk of those jobs are part-time or temp gigs at first. And average salary for comp science graduate in Ireland is like, for example, 35,000 to 45,000 euros, which is 30 to 40 lakh per year, which I don't think is that high, to be honest. And if you're starting in business or humanities related fields, then salaries are even more lower. Plus add to that the fact that Ireland charges 20 to 40% tax rate depending on your income levels. Many people are complaining that this is high and it erodes much of your savings. So now let's look into the exact reviews from the current or recently graduated students. So a really harsh review I read was this: as you have heard, Ireland is Silicon Valley of Europe. The companies are there to save tax, not to hire and innovate. Few people they hire are for just showing on paper. Ouch. Another post said that the condition in Ireland is far worse than in Germany. My cousin lives in Dublin and works in Adobe. He suggested me to choose Germany over Ireland. Almost all the people I talk to on LinkedIn who have graduated from top Irish universities, including TCD, UCD, are still unemployed. But let's end this section on a silver lining, because this is what I read from another senior, that I am employed in one of the IT roles which are listed in the critical skills section, and I still get approached by recruiters every month. Less than 18 months ago, I was still getting approached by the recruiters. Jobs are definitely there, a lot of which are not advertised publicly. So what I've noticed is that salaries have stagnated a little bit, but opportunities are there. So I would conclude overall that job market is harsh for freshers and non-tech people. But if you have good work experience of 2 to 3 years in your field, you should be able to find jobs after some hustle and of course luck. So this is the reality of the job market. Now let's evaluate based on the tuition fee, because this is again one of the important factors for students, especially when you're cost conscious, right? Now here's a breakdown of what you can expect to pay for an MS degree in Ireland. Now let me just quickly talk about bachelor's degree as well. Bachelor's degree can range from 9,000 to 45,000 euros per year. And for example, engineering is on higher side. So engineering degree at Trinity College can go up to 35 to 40,000 euros. Now that's 30 lakh rupee per year, right? So that's quite expensive. And if you're spending this much, I bet you can find some universities in US and UK as well. Now let's look at the master's tuition fee, which is also ranging from 12 to 30,000 euros per year. For example, at UCD, a master's in business might cost around 25,000 euros per year, while a master's in engineering at Trinity can again reach 30,000 euros, which is around, let's say, 25 lakh per annum, which is not low by any means. So especially when you have much more cost-effective countries in Europe like Germany, France, Sweden, etc., then Ireland is not that attractive in terms of the tuition fee. So you need to plan well. if you want to study in Ireland, because there will be upfront cost and you will have to bear this one. Next is the living cost. And speaking of living expenses, Ireland's cost of living is again not as cheap as some influencers are conveying it to be. So let's again do a breakdown. First is, of course, the accommodation cost. In Dublin, the average monthly rate can range between 1,200 to 2,000 euros for a one-bedroom apartment. Outside Dublin, yes, you might find something in 700 to 1,200 euros, let's say. But the real problem is that overall it is very hard to find accommodation. And I guess it's happening because the number of students have suddenly surged in Ireland. There's a supply issue, and whatever housing is available is being rented at really high rates. Whatever you find is usually very far from the campus, which means you have to spend a lot of time in the commute. And if you want to stay closer to the campus, you have to pay really, really high rent. So a lot of students have actually cribbed about it, that finding accommodation is a nightmare in Dublin especially. Now talking about food expenses, they might range between 250 to 400 euros per month. Of course, if you're cooking your own, it would be more cost effective. But grocery prices overall are higher than in some European countries. Public transport is affordable, but frequency is not very high. A monthly student travel card can cost around 80 to 100 euros a month. But if you're living outside the city, you have to rent a car, then the cost can be around 300 euros per month. So what I would say is, if you combine all these, if you throw in something for utilities, entertainment and personal expenses, you can expect an overall monthly budget between 1,200 to 2,500 euros a month. And in INR, that is 1 to 2.25 lakh per month. That is not cheap by any means. Next, let's look at the university reputation. Now, influencers keep talking about that how great Trinity College or UCD are. But let's look at some rankings, right? So, there are hardly 3 or 4 institutes that are worth mentioning. This is Trinity, UC Dublin, University College Cork, for example. Now, while they are said to be the best Irish universities, in QS ranking, only Trinity ranks in the top 100. I think it comes around 81 or something. And all other universities are ranking below 150. So, yeah, I don't think they are at all at par with the global institutions. In US, UK, even Singapore is much, much better. So, I don't expect much in terms of the academic growth there. I think it's a good reputed universities, and they mostly will be much better than most of the Indian universities. But again, let's not compare them to the top universities globally. Next, I want to talk about is the final section on study work permits and PR, because this is again one of the issues where we have lot of angst against US, UK and all these other countries, because it's really hard to finally settle there. It's really competitive to get the work visa, etc. And on both those fronts, I would say Ireland is much, much better. So let's talk about the study work permit. So firstly, the good news is that even when you're studying there, you can work up to 20 hours per week, and you can work full time during the summer months. So this is very similar to the CPT concept in the US, I would say. So this is great because students can earn while they are studying in the uni. And once you have graduated, then you look for the stay back visa, which allows you to stay and work in the Ireland for up to 2 years for the master's graduate. So during this time, obviously, you can look for a job in your field and transition into a work visa. So this is again, I would say 2 years after a master's degree is a decent study work duration. Now, in terms of PR, Ireland is easier than countries like US and UK for sure. You can stay in Ireland for up to 2 years on a graduate visa, as we saw. And after gaining 5 years of work experience, you can apply for a PR. And if you're in the critical skill section, then I think you don't even have to wait for five years. I think you can apply faster after 2 or 3 years itself. So, however, those were the positive points, but there are some reports of how slow and bureaucratic the whole process is. So yes, they are very, very finicky about the documentation. They really like to see all your finances sorted. So how are you going to sponsor yourself? How will you manage the finance? They really need very, very clear documents for it. So some people have complained that it is not very smooth process, but I would say it's still okay. I don't see it as a big negative. I think this overall, the fact that you have a clearer path to PR or study work permits is overall, I think, a positive point. So let's come to the conclusion and my honest advice. To summarize, I think there are some major downsides to Ireland which influencers don't often talk about. You should be cognizant of these are the pitfalls, and these are some of the places where you might find yourself having a regret later on. And this includes, firstly, the cost of attendance itself. So both, I would say, the tuition fee as well as the living costs are pretty high, in fact comparable to US and UK. Job opportunities, while good in big tech for some roles, overall I wouldn't call it a very friendly job market. You have to remember it's a very small country. Overall, the number of jobs is going to be much lesser than countries like US or other European countries. Yes, there would be jobs in some tech segments, especially engineering, IT, data science, maybe AI, ML kind of thing. But again, the job market is very competitive. Don't expect a straightforward job being handed to you on a platter after graduation. Then housing crisis. Finding affordable housing has been a nightmare, especially in Dublin. Rent prices are really skyrocketing and options are very limited. Lastly, public infrastructure and healthcare. Some people have commented that you don't easily get the doctor's appointment, and public infrastructure or especially transportation itself is not very smooth. So yes, those are some of the things that affect your day-to-day life quality there. So should you study in Ireland in 2025? Here's my final honest verdict. I think Ireland can be a good choice for students who are specifically looking for opportunities in tech fields, who have prior work experience in those sectors. However, for those without significant experience or those going into fields like business or construction management or humanities, you will face a tougher time breaking into the job market. Now, because of the high tuition and living cost, it will not let you build your savings very quickly. So please do remember that. So overall, if your goal is to just go and live in Europe and maybe have a track for PR, I can see that happening in Ireland. So you will face your challenge, but ultimately there is a clear path to PR there. But do remember that ultimately it's Ireland. I've heard a lot of people in Ireland are looking to go and studying in US. So ultimately, I would say a compromising kind of a location. If you don't think you can make it to US, UK or top universities in Singapore or elsewhere, then you can look into Ireland. But it's definitely not an alternate to US or UK as of 2025, in my opinion. So that is what I feel. So do your research thoroughly and don't just rely on what you see in YouTube videos or Instagram posts. Ireland has potential, but it's not for everyone. Especially if you're a fresh graduate or non-STEM person, I would avoid it. So if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like, subscribe or leave a comment. Let me know what else would you like me to cover. I hope you're keeping warm in the winters and your applications are going well. If you've started receiving admits, please do tell me in the comments. And I will see you guys next Sunday. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.